extraordinary performance by Rajasthan. What a game this has been. 185 is what Punjab managed in their quota of 20 overs. But it looked all ease when Ben Stokes came out to the middle. What a half century this has been. 50 of just 26 deliveries, 6 boundaries, and 3 massive sixes, which means that Rajasthan is still alive in the tournament and in the playoff race. We also have Punjab alive in this tournament, but this tournament is just getting more interesting as it is going into the business end. And to discuss all of it, I have been, of course, joined in with Yuvraj Dua. Yuvraj, what a game it was!
What a game. Excellent performance. I think everything went right from the first ball for Rajasthan. Whether it was Ben Stokes, then Sanju Samson carried on. He also got out. Then Steve Smith carried on. At no point of time did the momentum shift towards Punjab. They kept on scoring. It was a perfect example of when you keep losing wickets, you should keep going. You shouldn't let the wickets bog you down. They just kept going. They never stopped. They didn't let the scoring rate come down, and it was a perfect run chase. I think kept losing wickets, still kept going. Sanju Samson, Steve Smith, Josh Buttler. Never at even one point it looked like they were ready to give up the match. It was a clinical performance.
Absolutely, and I still remember Steve Smith said something when there were 5 games left and Rajasthan had to win all 5 of them. He said, "We will try our level best to at least win 4 games and we will try our level best to win all 5." They are not able to win all 5, but they are still in the race to win 4 out of the 5 games they are playing. It's a very, very good sign. If I just see the scorecard, Yuvraj, everybody has contributed, whether it's Rajasthan or Ben Stokes, Sanju Samson, Steven Smith, and you of course have Josh Buttler. And because of this, Rajasthan has now jumped to the 5th spot in the points table, and that means anything can happen from here. Punjab, Rajasthan, Kolkata, Hyderabad, one of these teams will occupy 14 points and will make it to the playoffs.
If Punjab win the last game, I think they will seal the playoff spot for themselves because of their net run rate. It's still better than Rajasthan, it's better than Kolkata, and they are at the 4th spot right now. I think the last match will be really vital for them. It's like a do or die situation. You win the game, you enter the playoffs. You lose the game, you'll have to pack your bags. On the other hand, Rajasthan will need to win with a really good net run rate. Kolkata will need to win with a really good net run rate. Delhi or Bangalore will finish. One of them will finish with maybe 14 points if they lose both of their games.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crunch last phase of the tournament for sure.
Absolutely, I totally agree to it because Yuvraj, there is one more big game coming tomorrow, a 4 o'clock, a 3:30 game rather, Delhi versus Mumbai, and it will be one to watch. And Bangalore is also playing on the same day.
I think it's going to be another good day. Tomorrow it's going to be big. Delhi versus Mumbai. If Delhi lose, they'll have to win their last game. They can also qualify because they'll be on 14 points. Their net run rate is also good at the moment.
But not
Then
that good. But not that good.
yeah, they are also within touching distance of Punjab. If we talk about Hyderabad, if they win, they'll also jump to 6 wins. They can also end up on 14 points. It's going down to the last game, I think, which is the last game of this league stage.
Hyderabad is playing against Mumbai.
Hyderabad is playing against Mumbai. I think everything will ride on how these next 4-5 matches pan out. We'll get to know soon.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how excited are you to cover last 5 games?
15, 20, 100, I think. I am very excited. There's no limit to it. I think no scale can define it. And these last 5 games are the business end of the tournament. And covering this will be a treat, I think. And it'll be interesting if a team qualifies with 14 points. I think now one team will qualify with 14 points. It looks like. Because either Delhi or Bangalore will end up with 18 points. I think both of them also can.
Yeah, both of them can end at 14, and there can be one more team which will end at 14. So we might expect one team to qualify at what, 18 or 20? One team, Mumbai, needs to qualify at 20. if we want next three teams to qualify at 14. Then
Even
Mumbai needs to win their remainder of the games.
Delhi or Bangalore can also end up at 18 points. That is also a possibility. Or both of them can end up on 16 points, and then one team with 14 points will surely now have to fight for net run rate. If Punjab win, I think they'll seal that fourth spot. If Punjab lose, it could be Rajasthan again. Rajasthan is playing against Kolkata, I think.
Kolkata. So that's
Kolkata.
also a do or die.
That's a virtual playoff for you to qualify for the next stage of the tournament. It's going to be really interesting. I think Punjab, Rajasthan, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Delhi, Bangalore, all fighting for those three places. It's going to be some great action. Now we have a certainty that one of Delhi or Bangalore will surely qualify. That's for sure a certainty. And even I think Delhi, which have if they don't lose by a big margin, then they'll also seal a spot themselves. They might have to let go of that top two spot. Even Bangalore might have to, or Delhi might have to, but one of them will have to let go of that top two spot. And then three teams will be fighting for that fourth place.
There is one more interesting thing coming up, that is Chennai will be playing their last game against Punjab. And we saw the kind of performance Chennai was able to produce in front of Kolkata. And if they can do that again, and if they would want to end their tournament on high, then I think they are taking Punjab home with them.
One loss for Punjab today is that now they can't end up in top two. That is the problem for them, because they still had a chance to end up in the top two because of their net run rate if it was possible. Because one of Delhi or Bangalore will end up at 16 points. They could have fought with them as per their net run rate for that top two spot, but that's not a possibility right now. The only
Right.
possibility for them is either to pack their bags or go home, or just scramble into that top four.
Absolutely. And even qualifying at the second position is still possible, Yuvraj, if both Delhi and Bangalore end up losing the game by a big, big margin, and at the same time, Punjab wins with a big margin.
It's not possible because Vedant, one of Delhi or Bangalore will end up at 16 points because they are playing against each other.
Oh, they are playing against each other. All
They
right.
are playing against each other. So second spot will be occupied by the team that wins between Delhi and Bangalore.
Right.
And the fight is only for third, fourth place now.
I think
Uh,
as
th-
of now, all teams would be looking to just occupy one of those positions, third or fourth. It doesn't matter, because you will be playing the eliminator. It doesn't really matter whether you qualify at number three or number four, because you need to play that eliminator, win that game, play qualify two, win that qualify two, and then play the final. So it's a big thing. It will be very interesting to see if they are actually able to do that or not. Yuvraj, since you have been seeing the game very closely for Punjab specifically, what went wrong for Punjab today? Because they
the
now ended their winning streak of five.
they didn't bowl well. For sure, they kept bowling in the slot. Mohammad Shami kept bowling in the slot. They didn't change their plans according to the situation. Ben Stokes kept hitting them. They did nothing about it. They kept bowling in his arc, and he kept hitting them away over the infield. So there was the problem. Then the leg spinners came in. I think Ravi Bishnoi bowled well, but he didn't pick up a wicket. That was the problem for them. Murugan Ashwin was not bowling the right areas. The Seamers weren't bowling the right areas. There was lack of control in their bowling today because they weren't able to execute their plans to perfection. And
Yep.
they just bowled in the slot more often than not. In that over, in the 17th, 18th over, we didn't even see one Yorker from Mohammad Shami. Everything was a length. Everything was of length. It was all slot balls. Chris Jordan also took a hammering today because he couldn't control his lines and lengths. It was all about the bowling today. They batted well.
Yep.
They were definitely in with a chance at the halfway stage, but after that, Ben Stokes. It was a mix of bad bowling and some really fine batting from Ben Stokes. What Rajasthan did well again was they never let the momentum die down. They kept losing wickets, but they just kept going. The
Yep.
river just kept flowing. There was no blockade because they knew the chase is 145, and if they let their guard down, they will be in trouble at some point or the other, because whenever one or two wickets fall, you tend to lower the scoring rate. That's natural for any batsman, for any pair out there in the middle. But they didn't let that happen, and it was really clever, I think.
Absolutely. And when we look at Rajasthan, I think if we just keep aside Karthik Tyagi and Varun Aaron, I think everybody seems to be performing. They've finally been able to find a good combination. Who is batting where? They all know that now. Robin Uthappa and Ben Stokes, they know that they will be opening the innings. So the head seems to be very, very clear. Then Sanju Samson, Steven Smith, Joss Buttler, Rian Parag, Rahul Tewatia, Jofra Archer. So you have a very, very deep batting, and that's a very, very good sign. Now, I would just want the tech guy, if you can just show me the points table and show it to everybody, because a lot to talk around that, Yuvraj. You would be able to see that there is a Q written just right in front of Mumbai, and that means Mumbai has qualified for the playoffs, and they are most likely to play qualifier one in Dubai, at the Dubai International Stadium. So it will be interesting to see. Tomorrow, Delhi is playing against Bangalore. So as Yuvraj mentioned, one of these teams will definitely be winning and qualifying for the playoffs as well. So tomorrow, whoever wins is qualifying for the playoffs. There is no second thought in that. Then, of course, there is an interesting game. Bangalore playing against Hyderabad. Now, if Hyderabad loses tomorrow, they are out of the race for playoffs, Yuvraj.
Tomorrow, Delhi is playing Mumbai, if I'm not wrong, in the
Yeah, Delhi
first
is
match.
playing Mumbai and Bangalore is playing Hyderabad. If Bangalore wins, they will be qualifying, and Hyderabad will be going home because they will have 8 losses. Similarly, if Delhi is able to win the game against Mumbai, they will also qualify.
They will definitely qualify if Delhi win. If they lose, then if they lose both of their games, then I think it will be again a net run rate contingency. All eyes will be on all matches. I think we can't count out any match at this point, because every game will be so vital. Even games against Chennai are really important right now. Bangalore, Punjab is playing again. Will be playing against Chennai in on Sunday. It's the day game for them. So yeah, that game will be very important. Then Bangalore versus Hyderabad is also very important. If Bangalore win, they'll qualify, and it's likely. I think Bangalore look like a stronger side, but you never know. The
So
top,
we might see two teams qualifying tomorrow as well, right? Because if
yeah,
Delhi wins, Delhi qualifies. Bangalore wins, Bangalore also qualifies. If Bangalore wins, then Hyderabad is out. So there are a lot of combination which is actually going on in the tournament right now. We, from a tournament point of view, we would not want this to happen. We would want it to go down till the last game. And it would be great if Hyderabad ends up winning the game tomorrow and Mumbai can register one more win. It will be just amazing because Delhi is playing their last game against Bangalore. And then it will be virtual playoff as who qualifies, who goes to Dubai and who goes to Abu Dhabi, or who goes to who might even go to home. Who knows?
yeah. So in one of the matches, we might see that sort of a situation in which a team is playing and they're playing towards a target. Whenever net run rate comes into play, if they require maybe there's a target of 170, 175, whatever the target is, they might need to chase it down in lesser number of overs to qualify or to end up at second position or third position. If both Delhi and Bangalore might also end up on 16 points, then the net run rate of both of them will come into play, because their net run rate is neck and neck right now. It's
Right.
plus 0.048 plus 0.030. So you might want to also look at the net run rate. Keep one eye on the game, one eye on the net run rate as well.
Absolutely. And there is one more thing which is actually coming out from this. If Delhi loses tomorrow and Bangalore also loses tomorrow, then it will also go down to who wins the toss in the final game when Delhi will be up against Bangalore. Because that's for sure. Whichever teams win the toss, they will be looking to bowl first. Because they want that par score to be there as how many runs they need in X number of overs. So then it will all come down to the toss.
Wow, that will be absolutely fabulous to watch. So let's hope Delhi loses tomorrow and Bangalore also loses tomorrow. It will be a game. Both games will be. I think we will looking forward to both these games.
Absolutely. And now it's time to look at our next segment, and that is, of course, best tweets of the game. The first one is coming from Smith. He says it's just a coincidence that Punjab won four in a row, three of which against table toppers, but manages to bottle against number seven side, cleanest cricket tournament ever. I think there is something Deepdas Gupta also mentioned while he was doing commentary. He said this is one of the greatest tournaments ever. This is one of the best seasons ever. Me and Yuvraj are also saying that there are so many fans who also believe the same thing. It's not only about Punjab. They were also talking about that last four teams, be it Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Rajasthan. Everybody seems to be going out there putting the best foot so that they can end the tournament on high. And that's really good to see. Cleanest tournament forever. I think greatest tournament ever played.
It just signifies that no team has an edge over any team in this tournament. No team is at one extreme, no team is at the other extreme. Everyone has a chance to win against any team in this tournament, and it's not like that one team is at the top. Mumbai have qualified, of course, but they've also been beaten by teams from the lower half. So no team has the edge, no team is lagging behind. Everyone's in the game, and it's been a great tournament thus far.
Absolutely. And Yuvraj, if you would want to look at the next tweet.
Yes, it's by Skylo Rem. I reckon Punjab left about 20 runs on the table by walking instead of running between the wickets. Even in the 19th over, they were walking singles instead of pressurizing the fielders. Rather shoddy display of intent. When Chris Gale is at the crease, I think you expect that, but he also gave you 20 extra runs with his bat. So this will happen because Chris Gale can't. Chris Gale was still putting in the effort to run those quick singles and quick twos, but he can do so much. He can't, of course,
Absolutely.
he can't, of course, give competition to the likes of KL Rahul or other youngsters, Glenn Maxwell or Nicholas
But
Pooran.
he was still giving Yuvraj in the start of his innings. He was trying to give. You cannot just expect Chris Gale to do that. And even after scoring a 99 against a side like Rajasthan, if somebody gets to read that, it's not good for Punjab. I think
Yeah,
they performed well. They were just all over the place in the second half, but first half belongs to Punjab. First half belongs to Chris Gale, and he was just ruling.
yeah, they all let it go in the first half. Uh, from the first ball of the first half, actually, they were never in with a chance, and they were completely outclassed by Rajasthan. It was a great show of batting, great intent from everyone. Even Robin Uthappa showed great intent. There was no batsman who went in there with the philosophy that I just need to save my wicket and nothing else. Everyone went in with the mindset that they wanted to score runs, and that was the mindset that was needed in this chase. It looked like they were playing freely. They were playing with freedom, and they literally had no pressure on their mind. Whereas Punjab was different. They were scared of leaking runs, and it showed in their bowling, I think.
Absolutely. And I think now it's time to show our users how this game actually panned out. And it's that time when I look at the scorecard once. Steve Smith, the captain of Rajasthan, won the toss and decided to field. Punjab, KL Rahul and Mandeep Singh were sent to open the batting. KL Rahul, 46 of 41 deliveries for him. He played well, but consumed a lot many deliveries, three boundaries and two sixes. Mandeep Singh, a short of a length delivery by Jofra Archer, couldn't control, couldn't keep it down. And I think a sensational catch by Ben Stokes dismissed him for a golden duck. But I think after that, it was all about Christopher Henry Gale, 99, just one shot of a well deserved 100, 99 of 63 deliveries, six boundaries, and eight massive sixes. And he also became first player in the history of T20 to hit more than 1,000 sixes. Now it's 1,001. That means 6,006 runs have also have only come in sixes, which says a lot about Chris Gale. Then, of course, Nicholas Pooran, 22 of 10 deliveries, 220 strike rate, three good sixes. Glenn Maxwell and Deepak Hooda, 6 of 6 for Maxwell and 1 of 1 for Deepak Hooda, means that Punjab were able to finish the innings at 185. When you look at Rajasthan's bowling card, still not looking good. I'll have to say this. Going into last game, they need to make some changes. Karthik Tyagi is not the bowler for you in this format as of now. He may be the bowler in 2021, but not as of now. 4 overs, 47 and couldn't pick a wicket. That's Karthik Tyagi for you. Similar figures for Varun Aaron as well. But as we always talk about, Jofra Archer was the pick of the bowlers. 4 overs, 26 and 2 wickets. Then, of course, Ben Stokes bowled well. 4 overs, 32, 2 wickets. Rahul Tewatia was once again good. 3 overs, 22. And then Shreyas Gopal bowled just 1 over and gave away 10 runs. Rajasthan, on the other hand, Robin Uthappa and Ben Stokes started off with a flyer. 30 of 23 deliveries for Robin Uthappa. 50 of 26 deliveries for Benjamin Stokes. 6 boundaries and 3 sixes. Sanju-Samson was looking good, deserved that half century. But today, the day was, you might miss a half century, you might miss a century. And then Stephen Smith and Josh Buttler showed why they are one of the greatest when it comes to playing under pressure. 31 of 20 deliveries for Stephen Smith, and Josh Buttler 22 of 11 deliveries, which means that Rajasthan was able to close the game in just 17.3 overs, 2.3 overs remaining. That will also affect in a positive way in their net run rate, and Rajasthan have won the game by 7 wickets. Not much to look at in the bowling card of Punjab. Murugan Ashwin was able to pick 1 wicket, and Chris Jordan also managed a wicket. But Yuvraj, on this note, I would like to talk about our top picks for today. They were absolutely spot on. Whether it's Robin Uthappa, Ben Stokes, and Stephen Smith, all performed. And on the other hand, we said KL Rahul, we said Christopher Henry Gale, we said Ravi Bishnoi, and all three performed there as well.
Really good topics, I think, from us, and all six, I think.
I think the team is doing a good job.
The team is doing a really good job, I think, and it's really nice that we've picked some great top picks. But on the other hand, as you mentioned, not much to look at in Punjab's bowling. They didn't land the right areas. A really poor bowling performance. It was a bowling performance of their first half, actually, when they were losing games on the trot, 5 games on the trot. It was that kind of a performance, and they needed something different today. They actually needed to continue from where they left off in the last 4 or 5 games, but unfortunately, yeah, you can't pull it off every day. And one win has now come after 5. Let's see, can they turn it around in their last game?
Absolutely, we will be looking that Rajasthan wins. That means the tournament still remains open, and one of the 4 teams will qualify at 14 points. It will be interesting to see as which team it is. A big day tomorrow. Delhi is playing against Mumbai, and Bangalore is playing against Hyderabad. We will be bringing all the action on your way. There is no match day live tomorrow, but there will definitely be a pre-show at 2:30. Me along with Yuvraj. And of course, in the mid innings, we will also be joining Atul Paji. So you need not to go anywhere. All the action will be on your screen on Sports Tiger. So just be here and enjoy the sport.